Hey y'all, today we're going to talk about ICAST. Some first impressions, especially from the first day on the water, some key takeaways, and in the end I'll give you my opinion on some of the new products, the ones that impressed me the most, and also maybe some of the controversy that's come up since ICAST has been over. So stick with us, we'll cover all of that. First impressions. Second impression, trolling motors. Third, fourth, fifth, and sixth impression, trolling motors. I think this was a good thing. Last year when Motor Guide's parent company shut Motor Guide down, everyone was going, what am I going to do for a kayak motor? Well, I guess ICAST has answered that. The most impressive motor that I saw coming out of ICAST was the Garmin Force. Minn Kota had already come out with on a power drive, and at ICAST they announced a Terrova with a kayak length shaft. So that's all good. Lowrance, that took over trolling motors, wasn't really making a big splash there because the Recon is intended for fishing boats and at present isn't marketed to kayaks. But myself with Lowrance electronics, if my Motor Guide were to fail, I'd probably buy a Recon, cut down the shaft. And you say, wait a minute, you said you thought the Garmin was a really good thing. It is. But I'm not going to change my electronics and go to that expense and learning curves. If the Lowrance product will work with Lowrance displays, then that's the motor I'd go with. And probably a lot of people would do that the same way. The other first impression was there were 4 new kayaks. One of them, FluxJet, is kind of like a motor with a kayak built around it. Not a lot to tell about that other than what you saw at ICAST, so we'll have to wait and see. The other new kayak was the Hammer from Native, the PDL 120 Pro, which isn't completely new, from Old Town, and Hobie introduced a new iTrek that's more fishing oriented. What caught my eye on that one is it has an H-Rail kit, and the H-Rail kit has slots like the Outback does, so you can use it with H-Rail devices or T-Track devices. What was the new kayak that impressed me the most? I gotta say, hands down, it was the Native Hammer. They knocked it out of the park on that. Starting from how they laid it out with the T-Tracks, how they redesigned the hull, how they laid out their cockpit and organized it to be motorized by the bow or be motorized from the stern, the watertight pass-through systems using plates. Everything they did with that was good. And I really liked the new propel drive, particularly the fact that besides just stowing it up more forward than the old one would, you can pull a pin and just take it out, put it in your car, or put a lanyard on it, of course, and put it behind your seat in the tank well if you want to free up the space of the cockpit of the kayak. So I'm most interested in seeing, when it comes to market, the Native Hammer. The PDL 120 Pro uses the same PDL drive as my Malibu pedal, and that's a good drive. And they've done some good things. They've improved their track system. They've improved the layout of their cockpit. They've come up with a motor mount that's Minn Kota ready for that Terrova motor. All of those are good things. The only thing I would say, Old Town, is get rid of the flip-up rudder. It gets in the way of mounting a transom mount trolling motor, and that's the common thing that people are doing now. Key takeaway. One was Yak Attack brought out a motor that is not in production yet, that fits in a Hobie Mirage Drive well, and it created quite a stir and quite a controversy. Some people say, oh, it's just, you just put your name on someone else's cheap motor. I didn't see it that way. I saw it that they're intending to take that as a starting point and build a motor that they can be proud of. I've never had a bad product from Yak Attack, So I would say give them some time. Go with them. See when they bring it to market, see what features it has and how many improvements they've done to it. Like I say, I've never had a bad product from Yak Attack. The other thing that came to be a controversy was iCast a failure this year? Well, let's see. This is my point of view. It's only my point of view. We got a whole bunch of new trolling motors to choose from. That's a success. We've got at least 3 or 4 new kayaks. 2 of them, the Hammer and the PDL 120 Pro, are going to be good kayaks, so that's a success. There was a lot of products being shown, so overall, I would say it was a success. It gave us a lot of new things to choose from. What my expectation from iCast is to have a lot of new things, new model kayaks, new accessories, new motors that we can choose from. So on that level, I would give iCast a big thumbs up. Here we see Native's website with the Hammer, 12 foot 10, 36 inches wide, 110 pounds fitted hull weight, the empty weight you have to lift, and 140 pounds the weight of the kayak. Let's go over here and look at Old Town. Specs. They give you an assembled boat weight of 131 pounds. The pedals weigh 19, the seat weighs 6. So if you take 25 off of 131, the empty kayak weighs 106 pounds. 12 foot long, 36 inches wide. It's shorter than the Hammer, but 12 foot by 36, that's a Hobie Pro Angler. More room in the floor. It's got key improvements that Old Town made to the PDL 120 Pro is they've improved the tracks, they've improved compartments for battery storage and how you motorize the kayak. They've improved the shape of the cockpit and the floor to make it more foot room and flatter like a Pro Angler 12. And they added 2 horizontal rod holders on each side, one on port, one on starboard. So feature-wise, it kind of has a lot of similarity to the Hobie Pro Angler 12. The Hammer is kind of size and everything like that, very similar to the Outback, which is a successful kayak. So I'm looking forward to some of these new kayaks. If I were to buy one myself, I would lean towards the Hammer. I think what Native did with the Hammer was really, really good. So in closing, was iCast a success or a failure? Well, let's see. We got a bunch of new trolling motors. That's something people are going to be enthusiastic about. We've got 4 new kayaks, 2 of them that are really strong, the Native and the Old Town PDL 120 Pro. So my expectation of iCast is new things that support the kayaker and how you use your kayaks. So I'm going to give it a thumbs up. Just one man's opinion.